Hello, hello, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me for What's the Weather Like? So earlier today, I posted a picture of these three lovely cards and the stones that go along with them. And I had you pick a card, the card that just spoke to you or the color of the stone that called. And the reason behind this is just a playful, right, little aspect, but also a way for us to become more introspective and maybe look at some of the symbolism within the cards to help us get a more clear idea of what's going on around us and how we can navigate through it so we can experience the best possible of outcomes. That's why I like to call it What's the Weather Like? Because when you do this kind of work, it really becomes like a forecast, right? It's like turning on the news channel and saying, is it going to be 60 degrees out or is it going to be 32? What kind of coat do I need to bring today? Or you know what, maybe it's time for that vacation. We'll go somewhere warm or we'll go somewhere cool. And it's just a way to help you navigate through life a little more easily. So with that being said, let's jump into the fun. Now, I've heard from Amanda and Michelle, and Amanda mentioned that she was interested in the card with the Yellowstone. Now, the Yellowstone, I'll hold it a little bit closer for you to see, is the citrine stone. And the citrine stone I really love. It's a stone that represents your upper belly, let's say, that third energy center. It represents really your uniqueness, like your fingerprint, right? It represents courage and fire. It's very optimistic and positive. It also brings a great abundance into your life. And it is paired with this wonderful Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands represents a new project or idea. There's a great new beginning coming up, a wonderful opportunity, and this is your chance to just go for it. Don't overthink it. Don't spend tons of time planning or researching. Just go for it. Jump into it. Trust your gut instinct. And if you pair that with the idea of the passion and the creativity and the abundance that you get from the yellow citrine stone, then you're going to find that there's a lot that you can do right now in this moment. Also recognizing that this new opportunity that comes your way, it's going to be up to you what you make of it, right? If you have a wonderful chance, let's say, to go on a vacation or a trip, let's say you won tickets on a cruise, but you need to call the number and you need to go answer a few questions and you skip that part, you skip the work part, then the opportunity will pass you by. So definitely get ready to roll up your sleeves, get your inspiration going, your fire, that's the citrine, put on that hopeful, optimistic look to life and jump into this adventure. All right, Amanda? So let me know if you have questions on that at all. Hello, Helly. Oh, it's so good to have you. I don't know if you picked a card with a stone. So we just did the first one. Now the second one, it has this lovely stone that I just absolutely love. It's in a heart shape and it is snowflake obsidian. And I don't know, I might have to pull it back a little bit so that you can see kind of the light gray speckles in the black. And this particular stone is great for grounding. It's great from protecting you, let's say, from the Debbie Downers, right? Just a way to weed out the negativity and to help allow yourself to see certain emotions more clearly, certain patterns that might be going on. So let's say, for example, you're having a conversation with someone and just something isn't quite clicking, something's not working, and you feel kind of off in your tummy. You feel like, I don't know if I can really trust this person and go forth. Something seems a little off. And I love it because it pairs with this card. So our next card, and it's upside down, right? It's a Two of Cups. So right side up, it looks like this. Two wonderful friends meeting, they're sharing their drinks, a little toast, so to speak, and they're having a grand old chat. Now, one of the things that I love about this when it's upside down is it's that opportunity to say, yes, communication's kind of off. Something isn't quite going on here that should be. being misunderstood. So paired with the snowflake obsidian, this is your opportunity to examine the relationships in your life and see if something just doesn't feel quite right. If you feel like you've been saying one thing, but they've been understanding it a different way. If they feel like they're superior to you, they know it all, so they're not really listening to your opinion anyway when you offer it. And take some time to ground yourself, meaning you take a breath, step away from the conversation, gain some perspective, and look at it in the bigger picture sense so that you might be able to see any kind of unhealthy patterns that are present. And then from that point, choose, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to stay around? Are you going to seek extra help with that connection, that relationship? Or is it time to move on? But just take a moment to examine that relationship and partnership. Okay, so final one. I think Michelle picked this one. This has the wonderful stone. This is the new stone I just picked up. I just found it's selenite, and it looks almost like glass. Really interesting one. And this particular one helps you to remove anything that's stuck or stagnant. Helps you to let go, especially of any negative kind of energy that comes your way, and get things flowing and moving again. It's also another great protector and helps open you up to intuitive guidance. So with that said, that pairs with dun, 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 our 10 of Wands. And you can see this wonderful guy. Oh my goodness, he's working so hard. And now what's also interesting is the first card that we had with our yellow stone, which was Amanda's card, was the Ace of Wands. So that was the beginning of the cycle, right? The 10 represents the end. So now this card, Michelle, for you, this is an opportunity for you to look at all of those big things that you've accomplished in your life. Maybe there's one particular big project that you've done. Hey, you're on, Michelle. This is fantastic. So let me know if you have questions as I describe this, or if there's anything that comes up that just like, Irena, what are you talking about? But 10 of Wands represents, okay, you've worked hard to accomplish something. It's like, the business person saying, okay, I'm going to take on this venture and I'm going to create this company. And then all of a sudden they realize, oh, the company's flourishing. It's doing well. But now I'm juggling all these different projects and ideas. I'm working 70 to 80 hours a week, and it's just too much. And you start to lose sight, right? His head's down. He's just kind of like, he keeps walking. Home's there in the distance, a little house, but his head's down. He's like, oh man, he loses sight of his why, right? Of his passion. He becomes disconnected because he's overburdened. There's so many responsibilities. He's not able to enjoy life. So the idea here, especially paired, here it is, with the selenite, is the idea of letting go, right? What if there is a possibility to delegate a project, to release a responsibility, to ease the burden or the load a little bit, maybe by, I have a friend of mine who is saying, you know what, when we're trying to add a practice to our life, we're talking yoga, it becomes so frustrating when people are like, ooh, if it's really important, you'll make time for it. And you're like, lady, do you know my life? Like, my life is not always my own, right? I have outside forces that I have to answer to, like my kids, my fur babies, right? My students. Yes, we can draw boundaries. We can, create sacred space, sacred time. But sometimes life just happens. We can't control it, obviously. So sometimes it's not whether it's important or not. Sometimes it's a matter of saying, what can I control in my life? What can I change, maybe either to simplify or make more efficient? And so my girlfriend and I were talking, and we were saying, maybe dinner, right? So instead of spending, the 2 hours prepping a certain particular meal and making all this good growing food, you do something good and you throw something in the crock pot, right? It's not perfect. And we try our best not to let perfect be the enemy of good. And we just say, okay, well, dinner tonight's going to be a 5-minute dinner. So I can have that other hour to do yoga or whatever it might be, right? So we look at the things in life that we can't control, and we say, okay, just offer that up. And then we see, what can I control in my life? Where can I maybe delegate something, let go of something, simplify, and hopefully at that point, lighten the load so you can really enjoy life. But again, that 10 represents something that you worked really, really hard on and it's coming to fruition. Allow yourself to enjoy that. Share some of that burden or responsibility, even if it's saying, you know what, 5-minute dinner tonight. So I hope that made sense, Michelle. And if it doesn't, or if you have more questions, let me know. But those are our 3 cards for tonight. I jumped on pretty late, and hopefully I'll be doing this much earlier. It's just my own interesting night tonight where things are out of my control. So I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will post a link down below to a place where if you want to get a personalized reading from me, you can go to do so. Otherwise, tune in next Tuesday for What's the Weather Like? And you can choose a card and I'll hop on and I'll share it with you. Have a great night, guys. Sweet dreams. Bye.